Okay, I'm just getting set up here. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Got a little bit of a delay here, well, quite a bit of a delay here. All right, we'll get started here. Looks like we're not getting any motion there. Oh, that was just me holding still. Okay. Let's zoom in a touch. That's too much. I've got a really big delay, so should really just look at this. Okay. All right, I think that's probably a good size. Okay, I'm going to get started here. This is page 30 of my webcomic, Green Monk. I guess it's just a comic that happens to be on the web. It's drifting off the page there a little bit. The shot I'm kind of drawing here is a kind of an establishing shot. So I'm thinking quite a bit about the characters in the shot and how they kind of fit into the environment. As you see, I've always kind of roughed it in. So I'm coming in and tightening up. Just making sure I'm getting those details in there that make things feel more solid. I'm getting a pretty strong shadow around my hand. Makes things a little bit tough to see. Anyway, so I've got my two figures here on the left. Then we've got kind of this wider area they're looking into. It's kind of a pile of rocks, which are actually gravestones. So I think kind of the approach I'm going to take today is I'm going to kind of draw in the areas that are most important, kind of the focal points, and then I will I'll kind of do the detail around them. One thing I've been trying to do a lot more of with my comic, that's been kind of one of my goals, is trying to do more with showing kind of more open environmental shots. I tend to kind of rely on the crutch of showing kind of these really tight shots that just kind of suggest some environment around it. And I kind of want to get better at suggesting environment, or just, you know, establishing environment. So this is the first time we see this location. And so I want to try and get a good sense of space, and then be consistent with that sense of space. So now what I'm thinking about is I'm starting to think about how I'm going to use the other elements in this page, in this image, to reinforce our two main focal areas, our characters, and kind of this grave stone area they're looking at. The way I've kind of set up the page is you've got that main focal point, and then I have kind of details framing things. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. So I'm kind of working through some of the framing elements here. I'm going to have some more gravestones in the foreground. I'm going to have some details kind of around our focal characters here. think I'm going to probably make them feel a little bit backlit. And now I'm just trying to figure out how to kind of put them on solid ground. You know, what do I want the details around them to be? At this point, I'm kind of wishing I had some reference on some plant life. I'm trying to kind of draw on some bushes here, but I'm already feeling like they're feeling kind of generic. Maybe when I come back and ink things, I'll come and try to get a little bit more specific on some of those leaf forms and things like that. Okay. And now I'm starting to think more about tone as I get further along in this. Yeah, I'm kind of just like scribbling in some indications of shrubbery and stuff, but I think I do want to get a little bit more specific with that later. All right, so we got kind of these foreground rocks. And then I got kind of these bushes and things. I want to. I'm trying to think of some way that I can kind of show the form of the ground plane here. I've sketched out a little perspective grid, which may be a little bit too light to see, but I want to try to add details that reinforce that ground plane. I'm just not quite exactly sure what that is, but you know, I'm just kind of trying to add in some subtle little mounds in the ground and things like that. I don't want to think about this background now. So the idea is what we're looking at is kind of this overgrown graveyard. It's kind of been in disrepair. So I may want to think about like what details can I add more to it to kind of give that sense of being in disrepair. All right, I want to try to kind of put this tree in. I'm concerned about this tree as I'm looking at it now, is I don't want it to be overpowering with the rest of everything. Because it's kind of the same, almost feeling like the same thickness as the rock, as that kind of main gravestone in the middle. So I'm gonna like thin it down, I think.